Welcome to Timeless Sleep Stories. Tonight, we journey back nearly 2,000 years to a beautiful Roman city called Pompeii. Before we begin, take a slow, deep breath. Allow your body to relax and let history gently guide you into a peaceful night. The warm evening sun slowly faded behind the distant hills. The stone streets of Pompeii glowed with a soft golden light. Merchants packed away their goods after another busy day. Children laughed as they played near the city fountains. Fresh bread filled the air with its comforting smell. People greeted their neighbors with warm smiles. Nothing seemed unusual. Nothing felt dangerous. Mount Vesuvius stood quietly in the distance. For generations, the mountain had been part of everyday life. It watched silently over the city, as if it were simply another peaceful hill. No one could imagine that tomorrow everything would change forever. As darkness slowly covered the city, most families had already returned home. Oil lamps glowed softly through the windows. The streets became quieter with every passing hour. A cool evening breeze drifted through the gardens. Everything seemed calm. Yet, beneath the ground, something powerful was beginning to move. Tiny earthquakes had shaken Pompeii many times before. People had grown used to them. Most believed they were simply part of everyday life. When the ground trembled slightly, no one felt afraid. Merchants continued their work. Children continued their games. Travelers continued their journeys. The mountain remained silent. Mount Vesuvius showed no flames. No smoke filled the sky. No loud warning echoed across the valley. Only silence. The kind of silence that often comes before great change. As the night became deeper, families slowly fell asleep. Parents tucked their children into bed. Dogs rested quietly beside their owners. The city seemed completely at peace. Above them, thousands of bright stars filled the night sky. No one knew that many of them would never see another sunrise. Morning arrived quietly over Pompeii. The first rays of sunlight touched the rooftops. Birds sang softly in the gardens. Bakers prepared fresh bread. Children woke with sleepy smiles. It seemed like another ordinary day. But deep beneath Mount Vesuvius, pressure had been building for many years. No one could hear it. No one could see it. Then, just before midday, a deep rumble echoed across the valley. People stopped what they were doing. Some looked toward the mountain. Others simply carried on with their daily work. Moments later, a towering column of dark ash rose high into the sky. It climbed higher and higher until it covered the bright blue heavens. The sunlight slowly faded. The city grew strangely quiet. Small pieces of ash began to drift gently through the air. People watched in confusion. Many had never seen anything like it before. Some hurried home to protect their families. Others stood in the streets, hoping the strange cloud would soon disappear. But it did not. Instead, the mountain continued to roar. The peaceful world they had always known was beginning to disappear.
By morning, Pompeii had fallen silent. Streets that had once echoed with laughter were buried beneath thick layers of volcanic ash. Homes, markets, and temples disappeared under the gray blanket. Yet because the city was buried so quickly, many buildings, roads, and everyday objects were preserved for centuries.
Hundreds of years later, archaeologists uncovered Pompeii and revealed an extraordinary window into ancient Roman life. Today, visitors from around the world walk through its quiet streets, seeing ancient homes, colorful wall paintings, and stone roads that have survived for nearly 2,000 years.
The story of Pompeii reminds us that even the greatest cities are never stronger than the forces of nature. Time changes everything, but history always leaves behind stories worth remembering. As this journey comes to an end, let your mind become calm. Imagine the peaceful ruins beneath the stars, where history whispers softly through the ancient stones. Good night and sleep well.
The evening sun slowly disappeared behind the hills. Pompeii looked peaceful. Nobody could imagine what tomorrow would bring. Busy markets slowly became quiet. Shopkeepers closed their doors. Families gathered together for dinner. Inside their homes, parents smiled, children laughed. It felt like another ordinary evening. Far away, Mount Vesuvius stood quietly, but deep beneath the mountain, something powerful was beginning to awaken.